You guys want to meet legendary artists Jim Lee and David Mack, plus John Dalmayan, the founder of Torpedo Comics and drummer for System of a Down? Well, this month will be your chance. Saturday, November 18th, JPG and Steve Schuett are celebrating their 1-year anniversary of Ninja Funk and having this private signing. It is free to enter, but if you want to get anything signed, you can purchase tickets right now at Eventbrite. There's going to be CGC witnesses, and you can leave your books to get submitted there as well. Big congratulations to Ninja Funk, and if you guys are in the area, go to the Ninja Exchange. It's in Carlsbad, California. More details at Eventbrite. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy GemMint, and I thought this was a good idea for a video for people who are interested in manga. Maybe they want recommendations, they don't know where to start. So of course, I had to hit our Facebook group Geminites and ask everybody, what's the best manga? Nothing about underrated, nothing about overrated, just what's the best. So this could make for a good recommendation video. Now me, obviously, I'm going to say Berserk. Not only is it my favorite manga, it's in my top fandoms, like overall. So Berserk is my pick, and kind of just glancing at some of the comments, we're going to see a lot of Berserk here. Let's jump right into it. And I feel like my man Norbert has been first comment on all of these posts. So shout out to Norbert. For me, Dragon Ball and Attack on Titan. I think both of them are great reads as far as manga. They're also great animes, so you got to decide, would you rather read it or would you rather watch it? For me, once I've already seen the anime, it's hard for me to go back and read the manga because they're so true to the source material. It's almost like you're looking at the same thing again. We should do the Berserk count. If I was a good film editor, I'll give a ding and a number for every Berserk recommendation out of these 211 comments. Ryan Dickerson says, Death Note, a couple of volumes in the middle drag a bit, but the beginning and end are fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed Death Note from beginning to end. I had the all-in-one version. I've read a handful of manga. I've been reading some things. Tom Daly says, Berserk hands down. It's unfortunate what happened. I think he's referring to Kentaro Miura. I haven't read volume 42 yet to see how his students picked up on the story, but I am glad they picked it up because it definitely didn't feel like the story was finished with the end of volume 41, which was his last work. Jeremy Allen says, someone is trying to start some arguments today. Vinland Saga and Full Metal Alchemist for me. I read the first hardcover volume of Vinland Saga and it just didn't hook me. Never tried Full Metal, but I have seen people recommend that before. Whichever one has the most tentacle porn. All right, when you know what you're into, it's easy to find what you're looking for. Peter says, not many would agree, but I'd say Bleach. I do own a soft cover of Bleach that I've never got into it. Isn't it Bleach with an exclamation point at the end?
I would put exclamation points at the ends of all of these sentences.
Shout out to Elaine Bennis. It's basic shonen, but I love the series and it actually brought me to reading. See, everybody always says Vinland Saga in correlation with Berserk. I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but usually you'll see people recommend Berserk and Vinland Saga and Claymore like it's all in the same umbrella. Vinland Saga just felt, I'm not into pirate stuff, man. Another one for Full Metal Alchemist, Jason Dobbs, currently reading 20th Century Boys and it's just as good so far, which is a comic from Image, right? So I guess it's kind of in the same vein. Bo. I don't even know if that's a real answer or not. Is he just trolling or is that a real thing? Berserk, Dragon Ball Z, Gantz. Gantz is fun. It's kind of on the immature, like it's made for 13-year-old boys, which honestly is right up my alley, but I can see that being a turnoff. Hellsing for me. Hellsing I gave up on that second deluxe edition, man. I don't know. I just couldn't read the German guy. They're writing his accent out, and it's just so hard for me to just stay on board with that. I just made a dope Hellsing listing on my Etsy. Oh, look, Josh Phelps with a little self-promo. Yo, shout out to Josh Phelps. If you're a day one Geminite, you can promo all day. Jalen Dixon says, Death Note, AOT, and Ghost in the Shell. Damn, do I have Ghost in the Shell? I think I might have sold that. I heard it was much better than the movie. Isn't that ScarJo in the movie too? Dustin Gregg, Berserk is #1. Correct. Honorable mentions for Blade of the Immortal. It was a little slow for me. Pluto, never heard of. Doro Hedoro, have never heard of. Come at me for more manga recommendations. Here we are. Someone's asking about The Promised Neverland and considering pick it up, but Dustin says it starts off great. It really loses its way. If you're interested, I'd read it digitally on the Shonen app. One Piece. First time we're seeing One Piece. I've never read it, never seen the anime, have not watched the live action. Everyone's going to say the same thing. It's super intimidating. There's so much content there. Same with Naruto. Never got into watching Naruto, and I know there's like cheat sheet where you can skip episodes that are filler and stuff. Zach Flores says Berserk. Chromosome Carl says Berserk is one of the best series in any medium. That's what I'm saying. I'll put it up there in a top fandom list. Like, if we're talking top 5 fandoms where you're like Marvel, DC, TMNT, like Berserk's in the conversation. Top 10 easily. Akira, I really did like that one. Dorohedoro, again. Hellsing is pretty fun. Uzumaki is a great read. First time hearing this. Okay, so am I tripping? 20th Century Boys is a manga. 20th Century Men is the comic book I was thinking about. Okay. Vinland Saga, Vagabond. I read the first volume of Vagabond. Another one where it was just like, I didn't feel compelled to continue reading. Full Metal and Tekken Kincrete is very underrated. First time even seeing that one. Sorry for butchering the pronunciation. Not having much experience with many manga, I'm just a huge fan of Naruto, so there we go. Picked up a few resin statues of some of my favorite characters. Yeah, shout out to my man Bam Collectibles. There is a ton of Naruto statues out there. Another one for the big 3, Berserk, Vagabond, Vinland Saga again. GTO, which is Great Teacher Onizuka, is that how you say it? Onizuka? Second, probably Berserk. So GTO over Berserk. And this is the first time I'm even seeing this. Dang. If it's manga only, then it has to be Berserk. But if we talk about both manga and its anime counterpart, how do you say this? Jujutsu Kaisen takes the cake? Jujutsu Kaisen? There are so many nuances that make it apart from your typical shonen. There are also quite a few I would like to mention, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I figured that would come up. Full Metal, Bleach, Hellsing, which he's saying is quite underrated, and Vinland Saga. I've heard a lot of people say they dug the Hellsing anime as well. Gundam, The Origin, great storytelling, giant robots, backstabbing, strategic planning and killing, and oversized hardcovers, 12 books. Damn, don't make me go buy that. Fist of the North Star, yeah, I feel you on that. I've not kept up with it, but I have enjoyed the first few hardcovers that I read. I might have read the first 3 or 4. Philosophical story of a warrior learning how to become unrivaled under the sun. It sounds pretty dope. Yeah, it's basically Ryu from Street Fighter if he was a samurai. Yes, unfortunately, it will never be finished. Damn. Oh, that was Kenneth Franklin. He's always got good takes, man. Shout out to Kenan. And Salvatore from the Omnibuds Facebook group. Shout out to Sal. Been hanging with us for a while. He goes, I know, but what we have is perfection. I have never read any book faster in my life. Damn. Sasha's coming in saying there was an interview at the end of last year with the author who does plan on finishing it. He's currently preoccupied and has other works with anime adaptation. I believe it doesn't have time, but it's stated he plans to finish it. Okay, so that's some good news. Emmanuel Cantu might have been the first member of the Facebook group. He's the one who told me to even start the group back in the day. And he has a lot of hot takes. So if you like that, come join the group. Trying to read some new stuff or watch? One Piece is daunting. If you can get to the 4th arc, Water 7 Enies Lobby, arcs 1 through 3 have been worth the read or watch. A lot of material translate better in the manga, and it's much faster. If you want short, Jujutsu Kaisen is good. Another one for that. Hunter x Hunter and Chainsaw Man. So first time we're seeing Chainsaw Man, and as somebody who's like, dabbled in manga, I think that's a great place to start. It's fun. It's got great art. It's got interesting concepts and characters. It feels like Berserk, but maybe for a little bit of a younger audience. Like Berserk is very adult, and this feels very like young adult, but in a fun way. Hunter x Hunter, I watched most of the anime, and I did like that. Me and Fee liked Hunter x Hunter. So he's talking directly to me. Since you like to read, though, I'd recommend One Piece. The journey will be worth it. Ellie Font says, tough, I can't give just one answer. One Piece, slam dunk. First time seeing that. Vagabond and Berserk, duh. Berserk is easily the best, man, in my opinion. Seth, been in here for a minute too. What's up, Seth? Blue Lock is a current favorite. Glad to see it. Joel Soto, if you want to see someone else with hot takes. I'm old school, so it's all about the Dragon Ball Z, and Sailor Moon. Love me some Death Note, Demon Slayer, and Berserk. Yeah, Demon Slayer, I watched the anime. Big fan of Demon Slayer. Also, the Legend of Zelda manga collection is great. Currently collecting the Dragon Ball Super run and the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Naoko Takuchi collection. Sorry, don't mean to butcher this. Is no one going to say the Deadpool manga? We do have those 2 volumes. Josh Phelps coming here, backing up Berserk for action. Oyasumi Poon for emotional connection. Miles said he just finished that last night. It was a hauntingly beautiful story, but it gets really dark. Josh says he loves it. Probably about time for a reread. I read it digitally, but now I own the physical books. Very good input, y'all. Christian Romero says Dragon Ball, Vinland Saga, Dragon Ball Z, Akira, Vagabond, top manga for sure. Alita, Battle Angel. I have the hardcovers of that, and I haven't read it. I watched the movie, which is probably not nowhere as good. Berserk in Vinland. It's not by any means the best, but my favorite is Soul Eater. I like when we see some new stuff pop up. Tristan says Vinland Saga, Mason, Ikoku, Berserk, and Dragon Ball. We got Berserk in One Piece. Berserk is my top. OG Dragon Ball, DBZ, Full Metal, Attack. So your familiar faces. Why is someone laughing? We know it's Berserk. Dragon Ball Z for manga. I had the box sets, but again, I was reading it and I'm like, bro, I've already seen this. Like, I don't want to reread it. Oh, look at this one. Here are some gems that are not translated to English yet. Kingdom. What is that? Jagan, Baki, Climber, Innocent, Rainbow, Holy Land, Billy Bat. Check these out. Only fanslations available. What's that, like fan translations? Currently reading Billy Bat and it's awesome. Berserk, yes, Berserk and JoJo. I've only ever read the deluxe editions of Berserk. Excellent Hellsing shit. I might try Vinland Saga or Blade of the Immortal next. Yeah, Brian Meenan is a huge omnibus collector. He's like picking up every hardcover type of collector. Give him a follow on Instagram. I kind of agree with Hellsing. I won't go as far as to say it was shit, but seeing as how much I love Berserk, when Dark Horse published Blade of the Immortal and Hellsing, I'm thinking, yo, these are going to be as good as Berserk, and they just didn't really land anywhere near that for me. So just my take. Death Note, I agree. Berserk or Akira, yes. Berserk writing is probably the best. It ruined a lot of stories for a while because it was so ahead of everything else. Chris says Berserk, and I can thank GemMint for getting me into that. I also liked Hellsing and Akira, plus Devilman. Devilman, I've seen it in like Barnes & Noble, but I never picked it up. But I think there have been some dope statues of Devilman, right? From Figurama. We got another one for Attack on Titan. Most people will say Berserk, but it's a little bit too dark for me. I would say One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Vagabond, and Lone Wolf and Cub. Tough to choose just one, but if I had to go with any, it would be Hunter x Hunter. Andrew Nutt saying Death Note, One Piece, Blade, and Trigun. Trigun is the next series of deluxe editions that Dark Horse is putting out, so I'm interested in trying that. Although I feel like I'm going to be let down, man. Berserk just set the bar so high. Another Full Metal. Also, we got Rurouni Kenshin. First time hearing about that. One Piece. The correct answer is Naruto. Naruto clears all anime/manga. It's the definition of peak and the gold standard for anime. I believe you. Berserk. Yeah, let's look at some. Oh, I don't want to click the picture because it throws off the whole thing. But man, some of the artwork in Berserk, I'm looking at it and it's like I feel like I'm not even supposed to be looking at this. Like some of it is so crazy. We got One Piece, Full Metal, Slam Dunk, Jujutsu, HX. Oh, Hunter x Hunter would be number 2 if it wasn't on hiatus. Berserk, Attack on Titan. I was getting ready for a trip and I was like, oh, an omnibus of Volume 1? Sure, I'll pick up this. I don't know if that's a word I'm supposed to be saying. And now I'm on Volume 5. Chainsaw Man, it'll make you want to touch your first pair of boobies. That and Gantz. They're very similar in tone, I feel like, Gantz and Chainsaw Man. So if you've read one or the other, I feel like you would like the other. Another one for Slam Dunk. Here's the first one for Claymore. Plus, we got Berserk and Lone Wolf and Cub. Yeah, very respected manga right there. Stephen Wolf says, the only one I read is One Punch Man. I've only read the first softcover volume, and it didn't hook me. Here's Salvatore, but this time with his own input. He says, Monster by Urasawa. A surgeon decides to save a boy's life over the mayor and faces the repercussions of professional reputation, family, and worse. He would find out years later that the boy he saved is a serial killer known as the Monster. The surgeon vows to put an end to his mistake, searching for the monster so he can kill him. 5 out of 5. Damn. Monster is great, but the ending is weak. That sucks. Rurouni Kenshin, Naruto, A Silent Voice, Blade, Yotsuba, Akira, Dragon Ball, Berserk, Record of Lotus War, Black Clover. Black Clover I never gave a chance. I had the hardcover too, and I just never read it. Fist of the North Star and Pluto. Akira, it was so good, even McFarlane used the cityscape. Did he? The weekly Shonen Jump was my childhood. Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Soul Eater, Vinland Saga, just to name a few. I liked Akira. It was one of the first manga that I've read, actually. Now, when I tried to watch the anime, it was super slow for me. I do plan on giving it another chance, though. Another one for Ghost and Dragon Ball. My Hero. Is this the first time we're seeing My Hero Academia show up so far? And Berserk. I can't stress how good Berserk is. It's so fucking good. Like, just read that if you haven't read anything. But I do feel like if you read Berserk, it's like you're reading the top tier and everything else falls short, at least for me. Berserk's the go-to answer. I also love Tokyo Ghoul. I sold that book because I just had it forever on my nightstand and I never read it. Hellsing, and basically everything ever written by Junji Ito, although Uzumaki is the best of his works in my opinion. Another one for DBZ and FMA. Berserk, Vinland, or JoJo. Oh. the best MAGA. For the Halloween spirit, Junji Ito's work is great, and I just finished Uzumaki, so another one for that. Another one for One Piece. I figured we'd see a lot of One Piece. Hokuto no Ken, Dororo, Kimetsu no Yaba. I'm messing all these up. All these ones, plus Berserk. Yeah, Berserk, Gantz, and Death Note. I can get on board with all three of those easily. Soon to be Eden Zero once it's finished. Fist of the North Star. Been a while. Eric Thompson in the house. What's up, brother? Naruto with an honorable mention of Zom 100. 20th Century Boys. It's a masterpiece. Damn, I gotta check this out. 10 likes, including mine. Yeah, Thomas Ryan needs to jump into it. This or Billy Bats. It gets better in rereads. You love to see that. Another one for Pluto and Monster. Damn, there's a couple that I gotta pick up just from reading this. I had no idea. Berserk. Yo, it's so fucking dark, man. But there's so much at stake. That's why Berserk is so much better than a lot of Western comics that have no stakes. Berserk is like, I've said this before, the worst things that can happen do happen. And it's like, damn, that's why you feel scared. And that's why you feel like this importance to get away and on their quest to Elfheim and all that stuff. It's like, yo, it's such a nightmare that they have to escape. It's great. Berserk, Akira, and Claymore. Berserk and all Junji Ito books. Evangelion, that's the first time we're seeing that too. Crazy statues from Prime 1, huge fan base. The manga is an alt timeline, the main character created in the end of the anime that you see referenced in the Rebuild movies. That's an interesting concept. It also introduced a new character, Mari, that shows up in the movies, tying everything together. The original series has an amazing message. First half is robots versus aliens. Second half is don't give in to escapism, even if reality is hard. Damn, and look at my man showing these big-ass hardcovers. Mobile Suit Gundam, The Origin, AOT. Haven't read a lot but Gantz and Fire Force. I think we have the first volume of Fire Force, and we never read it, my daughter and I. Jade's into manga as well. Bleach is my favorite manga. I think objectively Berserk is better, and it's my number 1. Oh, and it's his number 2. But I've never been too into anime or manga like that. Just Bleach changed my world. Berserk is better written, but I just like some of the stuff Bleach has to offer more. It got me into watching and reading more anime and manga. Love the art style, love the shading and cross-hatching. The soundtrack made Spanish music both threatening and fire, and that's incredible to me. On the opposite note, when I finished Chainsaw Man, it almost made me quit anime and manga again. The second half of that series sucked, and apparently I'm in the minority on that one. Yeah, so is the second series, are you talking about stuff that's post Volume 11? I think my daughter's reading that online. I like Chainsaw Man. I thought it was fun. One Piece is by far the best manga of all time. The pros, it's got great storytelling, plot setups, character development, and world building. The cons, manga has 1,000 plus chapters and too many characters. Travis Littman says Death Note, Full Metal. Some other good mentions are Berserk, Uruni, Kenshin, and Dragon Ball. Another one for 20th Century Boys. A wildly original story and a mashup of different genres. It feels like it's horror, sci-fi, fantasy, romance, drama, and comedy with a cast of characters that feels like a family to me at the end. Wow. Berserk. Question, how many people have actually read these mangas beginning to end versus just watch the anime? Yeah, are you taking the George Costanza route and renting the movie instead of reading the book? I don't know if I'm going to butcher these. Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind, Full Metal Alchemist, and Golden Kumoi. Final volume comes out in January. Naruto, I Promise, Everything in One. Need I say more? The GOAT, Berserk. Bly Townsley says, manga just isn't for me, mostly because I'm scared I'll get into it and I'll have one more branch on my collecting tree that I just can't afford. I have enough branches to tend to, but given whatever this video produces, it may point me towards something I'll eventually check out. So cheers to you guys that love it. I feel you on that, but I think it's worth it, man. It's like if you're collecting comics, you might as well collect manga as well. More specifically, if you're collecting like omnibus and hardcovers and collected editions. I feel like they just complement each other so well. James Skeffington II. I thought it was the third. Says Berserk. Shout out to Skeff. Berserk is hands down a masterpiece, but besides that, I'd have to go with Gantz. A lot of shonens are the same or follow the same recipe, but all are mostly good to like JJK, Demon Slayer, and Naruto. Another one for Lone Wolf and Cub. Still trying to get the 12 Dark Horse omnibuses. I got the original 27, 28 trades on digital though. Humble bundle a while back, but nothing beats holding that paper, smelling that ink, and hearing those cracks as you break it in. Nothing better. My man's hitting us with book porn over here. Battle B. Damon. First time I'm seeing that one. Out of the few I've actually read, Berserk All the Way, Jose Sanchez, Berserk, Tokyo Ghoul, JJK, Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad. Low Hit says, I've only read 2, Uzumaki and Tomi by Ito, and I love them, but I loved watching Death Note, Berserk, Gantz, Fist of the North Star, and Vinland Saga, so I'm guessing their mangas are good too, right? A lot of these have, like I said, animes that are like panel for panel, right? We know you want us to say Berserk. Hey, if you feel it, that's the best one. Demon Slayer and Full Metal, Fist of the North Star again, Yu Yu Hakusho. This is just a funny video to see Gem trying to pronounce these names. But Yu Yu Hakusho is with the anime and the manga. Akira, an American manga. Sandman, okay. Dude, Berserk, come on. No blasphemy now, right? Oh, Blame is the one with the exclamation point. Maybe that's what I have that. I don't have Bleach. And Ghost in the Shell. Another one for Berserk and Vagabond. Dragon Ball DBZ and Super. Death Note, Naruto, One Piece. But really, Dragon Ball is the best thing to happen to manga and my life. Dang. Everybody is saying Berserk, which I have not read, so I'll have to vote for Akira, Lone Wolf and Cub, and Vagabond. It's not the greatest manga of all time, but here's one that nobody talks about, but way more people should finish, is Banana Fish. Might be an underrated gem for y'all. Berserk again, and Great Teacher Onizuka, Akira, because it's the only one I've ever read, Yu Yu Hakusho, Berserk No Contest, Pluto or Astro Boy. Another one for Yu Yu, Junji Ito, Pokemon, and Dragon Ball. That's all I've read. I haven't read anything else, but it sounds like you've read some people's tops. So Jesse Cap said, I've never read a single one. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of same names coming up on this list. So if you were thinking about getting into it, hint, hint, Berserk, 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 there's no contest. Haven't read much manga, but Berserk. Now we in my wheelhouse. What's up, Troy? Boom. Ghost in the Shell, define the cyberpunk genre with rich world building. Berserk, Bleach, Vinland Saga. How do you say this? Inuyasha, Kenshin, and Death Note. Isn't Shonen Jump the best answer? Forgive my ignorance. Shonen Jump is like a publisher like Marvel, right? Like they have a bunch of titles under their umbrella. Like Shonen Jump, or is that just a title? Let me know in the comments below. I haven't read a ton as they seem to drag for decades and not finish, but Vinland Saga for me, Berserk and Vinland, Lone Wolf, Berserk. He's thinking about Keanu Reeves with that spelling though. I am a little off the beaten path and old. Me too. Kodomo no Omocha. I ain't gonna be able to pronounce these. After School Nightmare, Fushigi Yugi, Vampire Princess, Miyu. What is this? 3x3 Eyes. I can go on forever. Nice, different recommendations. Tibor Durganix on that Chronic with Berserk. Fist of the North Star right here, right? One I'm selling on eBay right now. One Piece, Vinland, Berserk, Hellsing. Johnny Cortez, never read a manga. I'd say Berserk, which seems to need no explanation, and One Piece, which is admittedly a bit jumbled, but it is it's in a good spot right now. My favorite, though, is probably JoJo's. I see so many people recommend JoJo. Claymore, I read the first volume. I've yet to get into the rest. I have all the volumes. I got the box set. Another one for Vagabond and AOT. Berserk, Gantz, and I Am a Hero was okay too. Lone Wolf, Berserk, One Piece. Monster sounds fun. Akira, bar none. Vagabond, hands down. Trigun, that's the one that's coming out soon from Dark Horse. Gantz also gets crazy. It does. We got Berserk and Fist. You read them side by side, and you definitely get a big yin and yang reading experience. Fist of the North Star felt way more tame. I mean, it was violent and stuff. It felt a lot like Street Fighter to me. I look back-to-back Vinland Sagas. Depends on what type of manga you wanted to read. If you aim for more mature, how do you pronounce this? Seinen story? I'd recommend Monster or 20th Century Boys. If you are into shonen, okay, so Shonen Jump is for the younger audience, right? Most of Shonen Jump title is recommended. Yeah, I think I'm piecing that together. So how do you pronounce this? Seinen is adult manga and shonen is for younger. Dragon Ball, Berserk, Full Metal, Gundam, and Sailor Moon, y'all. Robert says Berserk is the only manga I've read. I'd like to try Fist of the North Star and Evangelion, but if I had to compare stories based off of the anime, it would be Berserk. Fist of the North Star is fun. More Berserk, Akira, and DBZ out of what I read anyway. It's a shame not to see Masamune Shiro's work getting more love here. Ghost in the Shell is his best known, but Dominion, Appleseed, and Orion are all awesome too. That's why we're making this video, to get these type of comments out. Then obviously Berserk is right up there as, you know, being one to spread the word on your channel. I just legitimately like it. Berserk, Death Note, AOT. And The Sims says, I watched Japanese anime, but have never read manga. And for American comics is the opposite. I read comics, but not a fan of the animation. Got you. Chainsaw Man and JoJo. This guy, no doubt about it. I don't know who this is. And I don't want to click on it because then it like messes up where I'm at in the comments. 1000% Berserk. It's a freaking masterpiece of art and story. Craig McDonald says, purely subjective as it's a matter of opinion unless you go by sales. Nevertheless, I'd suggest Berserk, Vinland Saga, all that to say the same shit we've all been saying. Another one, Berserk Claymore, everything by Junji Ito, Akira. The Pokemon manga series is fun. Naruto and DBZ were classics. Recently, Berserk, the complexity and quality of the art is hard to beat. Tommy says, not a huge fan of manga. Normally, the art and character design puts me right off, but I do like Gantz and Berserk. So you like the adult stuff. You don't like the shonen stuff. Kira Berserk and anything by Junji. Another one for Berserk, Doro Hidoro, Vagabond, Vinland Saga, Akira. All the same ones, but Kingdom we haven't seen come up that much. Another one for 20th Century Boys. Monster, Vagabond, Berserk. Ikigami is also a great read. Berserk, it's the best no matter the medium. And then the same kind of other runners-up we've been seeing. Death Note, Dragon Ball. Kingdom for sure. Tokyo Ghoul, and I don't know what this is. Neon Genesis Evangelion, Berserk, in my opinion, one of the best stories. What do he got here? He's got, damn, I can't remember his name. Isidro. Shirky, Casca, Guts and Berserker Armor. That's the new one. That's a femto. That doesn't look like Prime 1 femto, though. Berserk, JoJo's, Akira, 20th Century, and One Piece. I'll probably get some heat for this, but Dragon Ball is the best. Yes, Dragon Ball Z and Super came out in the manga format before made into an anime. The only expectation was the last couple of Dragon Ball movies that came out. So I kind of agree with you. I like Dragon Ball more than Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball gave me that Street Fighter tournament vibe, and I loved all the origins of all the characters. And Dragon Ball Z, what is it? It's more flashier. You have great arcs and great villains, but I liked learning where everybody came from in Dragon Ball more. Berserk, Full Metal, AOT, another Berserk, Death Note, Gantz, and Naruto. Death Note. Death Note is such an easy read. Death Note is you pick it up, it starts, has a beginning, middle, and an end, and that's it. It's such an accessible manga. So if you're looking to like get into something, it's a little bit more on the adult side. It's got some shonen aspects to it, but it's more adult, I would say, and dark. I mean, he's killing people with writing in his notebook. Riley Davis says, I can go on all day, but I think Akira has to be the best for me. Just watching the movie doesn't do it justice either. I agree. I couldn't even get into the movie. It was super slow. That movie was made when manga wasn't even halfway finished, when its story wasn't finished. Assassination Classroom, not even close. Akira again. Junji Ito's works are fun to read. You can just pick one up and enjoy it without needing to read the previous ones. Berserk, Vinland and Full Metal, D. Greyman, Soul Eater, Monster, Vinland Saga, Attack on Titan. I feel like I really got to read this monster, y'all. Vinland Saga is a sleeper hit. Such good storytelling, character growth, and world building. Matt Johnson says, of all that I've read, Dragon Ball, Death Note, Fruits Basket, Full Metal Alchemist, One Piece, Berserk, Junji Ito. Oh, Guts. Berserk, Tokyo Revengers, Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga, and Fist of the North Star. Wow, so we had a lot more participation than I thought. I thought we only had like a handful of comments, but I kind of let this breathe for a couple of days. Thank you guys so much for the recommendations. Personally, there's a few on here that I want to check out just from seeing that. I already wanted to read Trigun, Monster, 20th Century Boys sounds good, and a couple others that have been on my radar the whole time, man. Let me know your manga recommendations in the comments below. Have you seen anything on this post that made you interested in wanting to pick up? Sound off in the comments, and come join our Facebook group if you guys want to be a part of the discussions. I pin these so that you guys can see it right at the top. I tag everyone so they can get a notification, and we'll do more stuff like this in the future with different type of topics. Just please answer the 3 questions so that we know you're not a bot. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.